Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 14 of All the Mods 3 Expert Mode. We've now secured easy access to steel through the arc furnace. However, it uses a lot of power and we don't quite produce enough yet. So let's see about turning this biofuel that we're generating into power. Now, one way to turn it into power is with the biofuel generator. It simply burns biofuel. So can I... does this have auto eject? I'm not actually sure. Doesn't look like it, huh? Alright, let's send fluid there via one of these things. So this generator seems to be producing, looks like 160 RF a tick, and it's just one generator. There are upgrade slots in here, but I'm not actually sure what upgrades go in there. Like the regular, speed and energy upgrades you put into these machines don't go here. So, I don't know. Anyways, here we go. It's a very basic thing that produces a little bit of power. However, we need more than 160. We could just make a bunch of these, but well, there's really nothing wrong with that. However, we can actually be slightly more energy efficient and use advanced generators. Secondly, there's a quest that asks for this, so let's do it. We're going to make the gas turbine. So that consists of one gas turbine controller, one generator of some sort. This is just an output block. So like there's a flux generator, there's a forge energy emitter. It basically, it outputs RF or it outputs FE, or we can also make it output EU with these voltage, or these EU generators. It is a little strange that like tier 1 for here is 32 EU a tick, but in IC2 Classic there isn't a 32 voltage or 32 EU a tick tier. So I'm not quite sure, right? Like even our lowest tier is 128 a tick, because that's what a bat box can handle. Wait, no, it's 32. It says 32. But I can drain 120. I don't know what's exactly going on here. We can drain 128 a tick out of the MFE. I think what it is that IC2 doesn't have amperages. It only has voltages. So, okay, so Batbox is 32 EU a tick, or it's perhaps more accurate to say EU a packet. You know what? I'll stop spewing on about this because I'm not quite sure about it and I could just be wrong. So instead of me talking about wrong information, we'll deal with that when we get there. In any event, we're going to cross it, as I said, we're going to cross that road later. We can increase the efficiency of our fuels with a fuel air mixer, which doesn't look too bad, and a gas mix compressor, which looks a bit worse. But I think we can make Indarium, right? Yeah, we can make Indarium blend like the by hand way. So I think the biofuel starts off a bit more efficient in the fuel or in the advanced generators turbine. It's what, 600k RF a bucket in this little guy, the biofuel generator, but it's 800k a bucket in the gas turbine. So we can bump that up to 185% efficiency, which is what, something like $1.5 million per bucket ish. Anyways, it's very good. So we need, let's see, the generator to output, optionally these things to increase efficiency, and a fluid intake valve to put the fuel in. So let's start by making these components. An easy way to get the resident ender fluid is to melt down these resident clathrates. You can melt ender pearls as well, but these melt much faster. So once we get that, we can fill our reservoir with it. And I'm pretty sure you can use reservoirs in place of buckets in crafting recipes. I hope. Let's see, I need an actual crafting table for this. And there we go. So yeah, you can use the reservoir in place of a bucket for convenience. Indarium blend. This can be cooked in an induction smelter with sand. Sure, let's do that. All right, and then we'll have our Indarium ingots. Haha. So, looking at all these components we need, I added the turbine and the upgrade to our list. The hardest component to make is definitely the generator. Funny enough, all it is an output block. It's, you know, I mean, I guess it is a functional block, but it takes a Empower Restonia crystal block. Fortunately, this only took 6 million RF to make, so it was done in a couple minutes instead of like the almost half an hour it took for us to make the Emeratic crystal block. So anyways, Indarium ingots should mean we can make the gas mix compressor. Nope, I need plates. Indarium plates, quartz plates. As you may have guessed from the fact that there are multiple blocks, the generator here is a multi-block generator. So it can take any form. The only requirements is that it has all its components somewhere connected. So you want the generator to output into the energy conduit. Makes sense. Anything else could just really, there's, I suppose you want your fuel intake to be near your fuel source. So, let's just put everything haphazardly down in some remotely reasonable way. I also made a fuel tank that just increases the energy buffer. It's not exactly a very important, or rather the fuel buffer. It's not a required block. There we go. So I think this is ready to run. It'll produce 400 RF a tick when we give it fuel. So let's give it some fuel. Unfortunately, no item conduits yet, so I have to keep using these transfer nodes. They're not fast or anything, but they should get the job done. And we see it is producing energy now. It doesn't seem to be outputting to the energy conduit. Let's see. Let's see what happens if we replace the conduit. Ruh-roh. Do I need to right-click this to turn it on or something? Is that how that works? Output configuration. Hit it with a wrench. It's red. Output configuration red. Always on. 0. It thinks it's connected to air. That's not right. I think the issue is that the flux generator, which presumably outputs redstone flux, is not compatible with these energy conduits, which might use forge energy instead. So let's make the forge energy emitter. Unfortunately, that's going to take another Empower Restonia crystal. So let's make that real quick. What am I missing? The Floral Powder. I noticed when looking for that too, there's a lot of trees here that weren't here earlier. I'm pretty sure the culprit is our good friend, the Nature's Core I put down. If I can even find where that thing is now, hiding in here. There you are. We're going to get rid of you because I do not want all these trees in my base. So there's an A for effort, but a F for execution. Anyways, we're just going to dump you somewhere where you can be trouble for somebody else. Such as at the top of this snow-covered mountain. Good luck, Nature's Core. See ya. I've chopped down like 200 trees, I swear, and they just keep going. There's so many of them. If I had to clean this up before I had a vein miner on my axe here, I would easily have gone insane. I've been at it for like 5 minutes already, and looks like there's still a lot of trees left. Imagine cutting all these log by log. Yikes. There we go. Good as new. I think these animals may have also been spawned in by it. So, I mean, I guess we have a donkey here now. Anyways, it didn't even produce much mana. What a failure. Alright, one more run of the Empower. Come on, we can do this. Once we have this advanced power generation going, the Empower will run much faster. I think we're still limited by how quickly these display stands actually shoot energy. I know their energy acceptance rate is limited per side, so we can plug in the cables into more sides of the stands, which while it looks ugly, it will make it run faster. But right now we're not limited by that. We're just limited by how fast our system generates energy, right? Yeah, because our storage is already empty. It would be nice too if we had better energy storage, but it's not to be. I wonder, the advanced generators, energy storage, is it cheap? Let's see. Alright, so it looks like we can get 1 million RF per basic capacitor. These are not bad. We can craft flux capacitors. How about the advanced tier? Can we make this yet? We have to make signalum. How do we make signalum? Can we make the dust as well by hand? Signalum dust. We can. So copper, silver, and redstone. Okay, so we can make this tier generator. Is this just a flux capacitor? I actually think we can go all the way up to the 25 million RF tier, and this can be good power storage. So maybe once we have, once we're producing power, I'll look into making a couple high density power capacitors. Let's try this again now with the forge energy emitter instead of a flux generator. Aha, it connects. Excellent. And I guess it appears to be running. Cool. So we can also upgrade our turbines from these steel ones to manual in here. Just shift right click with the upgrade kit. You even get your steel turbine rotor back, which you can use to make more turbines. In fact, how much manual do I have? That's probably my limit. None. So I guess I'll turn as much cobalt and ardite I have into manual again. Oh, we have a fair bit. The turbines, or the upgrade kits, whatever, cost 11 ingots each, I believe. So it's 8 blades, but 5 ingots make 4 blades. So that's, what does that come out to? For these 8, that's 10, or 10 ingots to make these 8 blades, plus 1 in the middle. So 66 ingots should make another, 66 divided by 11, 6 sets of turbine upgrade kits, which means that in total we'll have 8 for 8 times. These are 500 each, right? Let me just confirm that. Yep, 500 RF a tick. So 8 of those is 4,000. 4,000 isn't quite enough to run our arc furnace at 100% speed at 100% uptime, but we also, don't run our arc furnace all the time. So anyways, I gotta wait for this induction smelter to induction smelt. With steel at our fingertips, we can also make the reinforced tier upgrade kit. We're nowhere near that one, but this takes some steel and empowered Rustonia. So once we have this, we can also speed up our thermal machines, a little bit further. So this operation doesn't take a good 2-3 minutes. Let's see how much faster this induction smelter gets. So this is a current rate. It's 60 RF a tick. I don't know exactly how many seconds per operation, but it's too many. So with an upgrade kit and another coil, this should go up to 120. So that's double the energy. I think it's slightly less than double the speed because it gets slightly less efficient as you put these in. It says additional energy is required per operation, but it's at least close to double the speed. It's a nice upgrade. I'll apply the other kit I've made to our pulverizer, I think, because I use it to make ores. We'll have to mix some signalum up, just like we mixed up our indarium, and we can cook this in here as well with some sand. 24. Yeah, that's quick. Alright, so I crafted 2 high-density power capacitors. Right now we have an internal capacity of 100,000. Is that right? 100,000. And if I place these down somewhere, that should go, way up to 50 million and 100,000. So now, it'll just keep running until that fills up. One problem we're running into is that this bioreactor actually doesn't produce biofuel that quickly because we're only feeding it with a single thing, right? Like if I throw some, I don't have any of those. What is it? Seeds? Sure, I can spare some seeds. Wait, are these good seeds? No, they're not. All right. If I throw some of these in here, we should see that it takes 1 of each stack and produces, a bit more fuel. Well, anyways, I guess I'll just keep this in mind. If it turns out we need to give it more fuel or seed types, we'll tackle that problem next. But with our manual done, I should be able to make more manual turbines. Upgrading the last 2 of our turbines to manual. We still have these turbine steel rotors left over that we can use to add more turbines later. But here we go. So now we are burning, let's say, 2.7 millibuckets of fuel a tick, or basically 2.8. I guess the rounding difference is to produce 4,000 RF a tick. Does this actually, let's see. Well, we definitely don't need you anymore because you are a less efficient use of fuel. So I'll just turn this off, and then when you run out of fuel, I'll break you. But does this produce, let's see, it produces 80 millibuckets every, so no, it produces about 1 millibucket of fuel a tick, which is not going to be enough. Well, drat. I guess that's our next project then, is to improve our fuel production. But in any event, because we're not actually loading this machine to 100% all the time, on average, our fuel production should keep up. It's just that spike demand might overcome it. Anyways, now that we do have this, though, let's actually see if we can run our arc furnace in all slots. So, some iron. I am perpetually short on iron. And coke dust. Maybe that's still here. Oh, we got plenty of this. All right. And go. So yeah, we can see the energy buffer isn't dropping because it's able to supply enough energy to run all 12 slots in parallel. The advantage of that is that your electrodes take damage at a fixed rate, regardless of if you're doing one slot or all of them. So see, our electrodes, I mean, they started at half health, but they've already lost another quarter of their health. So by running all slots in parallel, you get to be more efficient with their electrode usage. Now that thing uses, again, with all slots running, 6,000 RF a tick, I think a hair over, which is why our energy buffer is draining just slightly. But whatever. Let's solve the next problem of not producing fuel quite fast enough. You see our internal buffer here is fully drained, and this buffer should be slowly draining. So to make it produce fuel faster, we can add, more types. My plan is to make these agricraft seeds for the various colored dyes. I think some of them overlap, right? Like white tulip is light gray dye, but so is daisy. So we don't quite get all 9 types just from colored dyes. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one overlaps. I think this one also overlaps. Orange and no, that's red. Oh, we have 2 red producers. All right, so let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Overlap 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Assuming I didn't miss any overlaps again, these 8 types of seeds will produce the other 8 crops. So we'll have pumpkins and 8 different dyes as our bioreactor inputs. Making all of these seeds is going to take a lot of crossbreeding. I think the mutation chance looks like it's actually quite high, but like even here, sugarcane seeds, we have to mutate between seeds and beetroot seeds, yada yada yada. So for the sake of my sanity, to make this take a little bit less time, I'm hoping I can make the top tier watering can. I don't actually know if the different tiers of watering can are any slower or faster than each other, but I can fill it up by draining the water out of my irrigation system, because there's actually a lot of water stored in here. Almost full. There we go. All right, so I can use this to irrigate the crops to speed up their their growth. And I'm thinking I'll do our mutations here where at least we get some sprinkler benefit. All right, our first mutation. Let's see. Hey, first try. Not bad. All right, so after growing the seed, my plan is to come over here and then I'll level them up through our, leveler system. I think one thing I'll do is I'll only run one, instead of running the plant, up and back down. I don't think we need to go both ways, so I'll just run one way. That way we can do a couple more plants at a time. That way we can run 4 at a time. And perhaps every now and then the seed will only have like, a 10, 9, 10 or something at the end here. But, oh well, so be it. One of the biggest downsides of playing through a new pack every month or so is the need to redo agricraft or, mystical agriculture every pack. It's slightly different perhaps from pack to pack, but in the end it's very similar. And yeah, I mean, because I blitz through packs once a month, I have to redo it every month, but this is what I signed up for, to provide you with entertainment. Oh well. Anyways, what I'm doing here is I'm choosing to, whoopsies, I didn't want to nab that water source. Oh well, fix it later. I'm choosing to level up our sugarcane to 10-10-10 before I use it to breed. When you breed with seeds that have, better than 1-1-1 stats, there's a chance that, well, it's guaranteed that some of those stats will carry over to the children. So if you have two seeds that are 10-10-10 parents, the the child seed that results won't be a 10-10-10. It'll be somewhere around 5-5-5 depending on settings. But even then, that cuts out half the work. So yeah, I'm just pouring water on these crop sticks to make them grow faster. To further speed up this process, let's make a ring of growth. So I believe this uses RF to increase the rate of plant growth around you. I don't know if I have to activate or anything, but I think if I just walk by here, perhaps I have to equip it in a bauble slot. Perhaps not, considering it doesn't equip in a bauble slot. It should passively provide growth bonuses to these plants. And it is draining power. It's tough to see because it's also charging power at the same time. As if I take this off, I put that there, you can see it is draining power. So I'm confident that means it's doing something. And we've reached the end of the line. Once this is done, I sure hope anyways that the seeds are max statted. Let's take a look. Yep, sure looks like it. Cool. And in that time, our other crops have grown as well. So I basically ran out of iron, but I think this is another chance to showcase one of the things the arc furnace can do. It can turn all these more or less useless iron tools and stuff back into their ingot form. So if we come back here and just throw these in here, I think unfortunately it is proportional to how much durability is left. So I'm getting a lot less than I expected. I was hoping to get a couple, maybe 20, 30 ingots out of this, but it looks like I might just get a bunch of nuggets. Well, anyways, it does let you recycle, more or less useless tools like this. Well, the fact that they have no durability is probably going to make them not terribly useful. Well, darn. Yeah, the total yield from that was 3 ingots and 56 nuggets, which is what, another 5-ish ingots? We got 8 ingots out of all that. Woohoo. Okay, so that was a flop. Oh well, whatever. I was able to come up with enough iron to make these sprinklers anyways, so if plants are ever growing too slow for your liking, add more sprinklers. There's less more subtle ways of making plants grow faster. Like we could use botanias. I don't know. They have one of their flowers makes plants grow faster. But all those things require setting up other systems, and I have a perfectly good system here. So the only cost to adding more sprinklers is iron, coming in at something like, I think it's like 4 iron ingots each. They're not super cheap, but they're not super expensive either. Anyways, grow, crops, grow. So of the 9 dye seeds, 7 of them are done. 2 of them are growing over there, as you can see. It will be done shortly. But these, again, only produce 7 different colors, 8 different colors. I already forgot. Alright, so I recounted. Of the 9 dye seeds, they produce 7 different colors because there's 2 overlaps. But I actually forgot there's one more dye seed. Cactus seeds. Oh, wait. I thought these produce cactus green, not cactus. Can cactuses directly go into a biofuel generator? Doesn't look like it, huh? Let's see. In that case, how do I... Biofuel accepted items. Alright, so I actually need... The dyes cover 7, so I need 2 more. I guess carrot and potato will do the trick then. Cool. Let's... Well, I guess I may as well grow the cactus seeds as well. They may be useful down the line, but we're almost ready to upgrade our bioreactor. And finally, our crops are done growing, so we can put this away, put our watering can away. 9 different seeds, all max statted. So let's rip up our current farm and plant these in its place. Sorry, pumpkins, you are no longer needed. But you are max statted, right? So I'll hang on to you. I'm sure you'll be useful eventually. And we'll plant these instead. Now we also have to change our, system here a little bit because we no longer have a drawer for pumpkins. But Let's start by planting the seeds. I'm hoping that one of each seed will be able to keep up with the bioreactor. I expect it will with how many sprinklers we have, although we can, I guess, continue to add growth boosters as needed. So one thing to keep in mind is that the farmer will harvest crops even if there's no room in its inventory. So we have to make sure the items don't stay here. So we're going to need a drawer controller and some drawers to hold items. With 9 different crops, we're going to need 3 sets of drawers. In fact, I don't even need to lock these for now. I can just let them fill themselves, I think. There we go. So extract on brown. I assume this side is still insert on brown. It's entirely possible we're going to need speed upgrades. But I'm going to give it a little bit of time to, start emptying these slots out. And then we'll see if I do need to make speed upgrades. Is that possible right now? Or it's their, extraction speed? Iron, pistons, redstones, electrical steel can be made in an induction smelter with steel and silicon. Right? Can I make any of these silicons? Not that version. Not this version. One more. Nope, already checked that one. This one. Okay, yeah. I can just smelt any of the dust variants. Alright, it looks like all 9 items have found themselves a home, so we can void these drawers and then lock them now. And it looks like we do not need speed upgrades to keep up. That said, I'm making some anyways. Alright, so now all we have to do is pipe these items into our bioreactor. We can even get rid of these pumpkin seeds because we're not going to use those in the bioreactor anymore. Let's just grab those speed upgrades really quick. Sure. This will make 2. Assuming I have enough iron, of all things. Alright, we'll put 1 on each side. 1 for you. And 1 here. I even need an item conduit. Alright, and now this should fill with all the different items, and once it has all the items, the efficiency will go up. You see, aha, 160 millibuckets an item, and each run. In fact, let's how can I do this? Let's make another tank, fuel tank. So by putting this on the multi-block, we'll increase the, it currently holds 17 buckets of fuel. That goes up to, I don't know, 28, 27, 37? Oh, 49. But yeah, as the biofuel gets drained here, each cycle, it converts more and more of these various, in fact, when it drains enough of it, it'll convert 1 of each input item into a whole lot of biofuel. So let's calculate how much biofuel we can produce. Per 4 seconds, we get 160 per item times 9, 900 plus 540. That's 1440 millibuckets, or just about a bucket and a half per. It's about a bucket and a half per 8 seconds. Alright, I did some calculating, and just off the output of 1 bioreactor, we can support up to 28,000 RF a tick out of this gas turbine. Naturally, that means we're going to need a lot more turbines, and we don't quite have the resources for that just yet, but something that we can look forward to. We can basically, for the next little while, if we need to scale up our power, all we have to do is add manual and turbines. It's much easier than having to, where we basically front-loaded all the work of building this system. Which is really nice. Now, in all likelihood, this number of plants with this amount of growth acceleration can actually support more than 1 bioreactor. So by just adding a second bioreactor, like in all likelihood, we can actually produce, we can double that, 50k RF a tick. So yeah, our power woes, at least for the foreseeable future, should be taken care of. In fact, we can even use this system to produce EU now, with those, EU emitters, so that we don't have to rely on wind power anymore. Although wind power is sufficient at this voltage tier. But I think when we get to like high voltage, extreme voltage stuff, it's probably easier just to generate power with the gas turbine than it is with, say, nuclear power or something. And there was one more product just sneaking out in our, chilling out in our farmer. If I would have just left it in there, it would have eventually, filled all the slots in here and jammed it up. So I have to give it a home. Poisonous potatoes. I haven't eaten one yet. So I haven't gotten a heart for eating these in a while. I suspect that the hearts for this max out at 10, and I've already gotten all 10. But said I hadn't eaten one yet, so I had to eat it. Also, have I eaten a raw carrot yet? I have. In any event, I think we'll wrap up this episode here. We'll come back next time. I have a plan for perhaps the next couple episodes. Well, I don't know how long it'll take, but I want to start quarrying with the quantum quarry, because that's the only quarry we have access to right now. This quarry is a little ways off. We need inscriber, elementium stuff. I guess we can also, oh no, we can't quite laser drill yet either. So yeah, next episode we'll come back and see if we can get into the quantum quarry. In any event, that's all I got today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.